Hi, I'm Dan Bradbury. I'm the Chief Product Officer at UpGuard, and it's great to be talking to you again. Another quarter has flown by, and we've added some great new features to the platform. Today I'll run through 4 of these: our new homepage, the questionnaire builder, shared vendor information, and role-based access control. I'll also talk about 3 of the features we're working on right now: a data breach newsfeed, the remediation planner, and vendor shared profiles. I'll start by introducing our new homepage. Keeping on top of changes to your security posture is one of the most important things you can do to effectively manage cyber risk. Whether someone in your company launches a new website that has security issues, or the risk profile of one of your vendors suddenly deteriorates, you want to know straight away and take action. Our new homepage replaces the old notification screen and shows all the important events that have occurred since you last logged in. As well as website and vendor score changes, you can see all other security events, including typo squatting changes, vulnerabilities detected, and data leaks discovered. The homepage also shows all the tasks that require some action to be taken, like reviewing a completed questionnaire or approving a risk waiver. And UpGuard administrators can also see audit log events like users logging in or vendors being monitored. Each notification on the homepage links directly to the relevant section in the app, making it simple to dive into the details. For instance, if you see a notification that a vendor's score has dropped, you can click the View Changes button and see what caused this drop with a single click. It's also easy to filter the view to just see the items that require you to take action, like approving risk waivers, by switching the tab at the top of the page from All Activity to My Tasks. You can easily customize what you see on the homepage. You can dismiss individual notifications and pin items you want to keep at the top of the page. You can also choose the types of notifications that appear, either by clicking the Manage Notifications button at the top of the page or the little X next to an item and selecting the option to stop receiving notifications like this. The new homepage is now available for all our users. The second feature I want to talk about is the questionnaire builder. Our vendor risk product lets you continuously monitor your vendors and alerts you when changes to their security profile are detected. Most of our customers combine this continuous monitoring with point-in-time security assessments. These assessments can be based on the results of our automated scanning, documentation published by the vendor, such as SOC 2 audit reports, as well as security questionnaires sent by you. The UpGuard platform comes with a library of pre-built questionnaires that map to various security standards. And wherever possible, we encourage our customers to use these. There are still cases where, for a variety of reasons, it makes sense to create a custom questionnaire. Up until now, you needed our help to do this. The new questionnaire builder makes it simple for you to create your own questionnaires from within the platform. You can build a questionnaire from scratch or use an existing one from our library as a starting point. The questionnaire builder supports a few different types of questions, including single select, for example, yes, no, or maybe, multi-select, for example, select all the options that apply to you, and obviously free text. You can also prompt people completing the questionnaires to upload files, which allows you to capture evidence to support answers. And if you're asking loads of questions, you can group them into related sections. The questionnaire builder supports all the same conditional logic as our inbuilt questionnaires, so you can set rules like only ask this question if they've answered yes to this and no to that. And you can define risks that are triggered when a certain response is selected. So, if they say no to this question, trigger this risk. The combination of these features means you can create anything from a simple set of yes-no questions to a complex set of questions with sophisticated conditional logic. We've activated the questionnaire builder for a number of our customers. If you're interested in checking it out, let us know. You can also watch a demo a bit later where we run through it in a bit more detail. The third feature I want to talk about is the ability to share vendor information between related accounts. Some of our larger customers have multiple separate teams that are responsible for their cybersecurity. This is typically either enterprises with multiple subsidiaries or governments with various departments. These customers typically run multiple UpGuard accounts and want to be able to maintain some separation between them. But they also want to be able to easily share information. So if one organisation has collected evidence or conducted a risk assessment on a vendor, the other related organisations want visibility of this. We now support this kind of information sharing between related accounts. The information available from these other accounts appears when you look up the vendor's profile. You request access, and once your related organisation approves it, you can view these documents. Being able to leverage intelligence captured by other parts of your organisation not only makes it quicker to assess vendors, but also provides greater visibility of the total risk exposure your organisation has to a vendor. The last feature I want to talk about from this quarter is role-based access control. One of the requests we get pretty often is to provide more fine-grained control over what a user can do within our platform. This quarter, we've added a few new user permissions to better support this, including the ability to switch entire products, breach site, vendor risk, and cyber research on and off. The more fine-grained permissions we have, the harder it becomes to make sure each user has the right combination. So we've added support for role-based access control. You can create roles and associate permissions with these, then grant users access to a role rather than a set of permissions. If you change a permission associated with a role, this will filter through to all users with that role without you having to do anything else. Role-based access has been enabled for some of our beta customers, and once again, if you're interested in checking it out, let us know. We've released a number of other enhancements over the past quarter, and to see them all, go to upguard.com/releases. I want to talk now about some of the features we're working on at the moment. As I mentioned before, I'll cover three things: the data breach newsfeed, remediation planner, and vendor shared profiles. I'll start with the data breach newsfeed, which provides a curated list of publicly disclosed data breaches. This is not to be confused with our data leak detection capability, which finds where data is being leaked on the internet and enables it to be shut down before it falls into the wrong hands. The data breach newsfeed shows breaches that are already in the public domain, either through media coverage or being included in one of the many data breach registries. Knowing that an organisation has recently been breached can provide important context when you're assessing them. Understanding the cause of the breach and the way the organisation responded tells you even more. Our data breach newsfeed includes a dedicated page where you can see all data breaches as they're reported. This is not limited to data breaches affecting your vendors, it's an industry-wide feed. But it's also easy to filter the feed to see only the breaches that affect your vendors. As well as this dedicated newsfeed, you can also see data breaches for specific vendors when you click on their profile. We provide context about the breach to help you understand the implications, as well as links to relevant articles. The second feature that's coming next quarter is the remediation planner. This helps you understand how specific risks affect the score of your own organisation or one of your vendors. You can choose a set of risks and see how the score would be affected if they were remediated. You can easily create a remediation request based on this set of risks. Whoever you send the remediation request to can also see the impact that fixing the risks will have on their score. This provides greater transparency around the impact of risks on an organisation's score and helps you better plan your remediation activities. Another feature that will be released next quarter is called vendor shared profiles. With more and more companies using UpGuard to manage their vendor risk, there are now thousands of vendors that have completed security questionnaires within the platform. The new vendor shared profile feature allows vendors to save the responses to questionnaires they answer within UpGuard and make them available to any UpGuard customers. When a vendor completes a questionnaire, they'll be invited to store it in their free UpGuard account, and whenever an UpGuard customer looks up their security profile, that customer will be able to request access to the questionnaire. Once the vendor approves the request, the UpGuard customer can see the answers. This benefits both the UpGuard customer base and the vendors. UpGuard customers can view previously completed questionnaires rather than sending the vendor a new one. And vendors can answer questions once and share them multiple times rather than having to answer the same questions again and again. To wrap things up, let me quickly recap. I covered 4 features we're launching today: our new homepage, the questionnaire builder, information sharing between related accounts, and role-based access control. And I talked through 3 of the features we're working on at the moment: the data breach newsfeed, remediation planner, and vendor shared profiles. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and please let us know if you have any questions.